Hey, friends and family. It's been a long time since we've talked. I know because I never see anyone. I'm kind of busy, with kids and all. But I just wanted to talk to you guys because um, I. This is kind of hard for me to say, you guys know. I love you all. I always have. And I don't know how many of you guys actually know me or whatever. And because I'm talking to this video is primarily for my Facebook friends and family, like my family that I don't see very often and, I don't talk to very much. Um, Unfortunately, I don't really talk to much of my family at all because, just distance. My mom, she's been busy lately and we've just been kind of on different schedules. But anyway, so I just don't, I have my own little family that I'm dealing with and whatever. But anyway, so I hope you guys are all doing okay. Um, I think about you guys. That's the whole reason why I'm still even on Facebook is because I care about what you guys are up to, and I like seeing the families, and just kind of checking in every once in a while and seeing what you guys have to say and what you're thinking, and you know I enjoy hearing from you guys. I love you guys. So this is why it's kind of hard for me to tell you guys because I know. So really quick, you know, I grew up for. I'm trying to cover all my bases because not everybody knows my whole circumstance. But I grew up in a two-family home. I had my mom and my dad, and my mom and my dad did not have the best relationship. Okay, so when I went to my mom's house, I, you know, I hear my mom saying things that I didn't want her to say about my father, and it really was upsetting to me and hard because she would say stuff about my dad, and it's like that's my dad. Like I love him. He's my father. Like he's part of who I am, and I don't have that hate or dislike for him that you do. And when you say things about him, it makes me feel weird and upset because you know I love him. I don't have that same feeling that you have. So it was always hard for me. And then I go to my dad's house and he'd say some stuff about my mom too. And I didn't ever really get into it because um, I love them both and I didn't want to pick sides or whatever. And I knew I couldn't really talk about. I mean, I guess I kind of could, but I just felt always awkward talking to my mom about my dad and my dad about my mom and how things are going and trying to keep it positive and whatever. Because the bitterness was there. And I learned as a kid that because I didn't like the way that it felt, I wouldn't do that to my kids. I just wouldn't talk bad about their other whatever or anyone else that they loved, or cared about because, I didn't want them to be upset and I didn't want to hurt their feelings. But I knew that I had to be careful and dance around things whenever I felt a certain way or if I didn't or whatever. And they wanted me to not like that person. And I've seen some of my friends do that to their kids too. And I would talk to them about it because, I know what damage it's really doing. But anyway, that was what I grew up with. And I never wanted to tell my mom or my dad that they're wrong because, I love them or whatever. And it's not that big of a deal. So now comes the awkward part. I love you guys and I feel whatever. And, I also know people that you guys don't like, and I don't have the same hate for them that you do. And the reason why is because, they're not mean, cruel, hateful, towards me or anyone that I talk to or affiliate myself with. And I see they're being lied about a lot and misrepresented, and they're being marginalized, and their voice doesn't matter, and they're evil and whatever. And it's just I hear what you're saying, and I know that you have certain feelings, and that's why you're saying what you're saying the way that you're saying it, because you personally don't like, these people, and I get it, I do. I understand you don't like them because you have a, preference, which is fine. But even, I don't know, like anytime anybody would ever talk trash about anyone, whether it was at work, at school, like in general, I always had the idea of like, I'm not going to say anything behind your back that I can't say to your face, okay? And if I see something that's not right, I'm going to speak up. Like, that's just who I've always been, And after the elections, this is where I'm going, um, I would like, when I say something about whatever, and the second that like the name was mentioned, people would just like start like, seething, and I just be like, I guess I can't talk to you about this. It's kind of awkward because I know that you really don't like this person. Um, you know, I say this like on a regular basis, I did not vote for the president, okay? I did not vote for Trump. I didn't. I didn't vote for Hillary either. I couldn't stand her. I could not. I hated her. Ah. Like you hate Trump, right? But I expected her to win, like everybody else, and not because I knew she had good numbers or anything, because I watched her rallies and her events, and I saw the turnout, and you know I knew that she wasn't liked. I followed the stories. I was on Twitter. I, volunteered, donated, and campaigned for Bernie Sanders. And when the elections came up, I voted for the Green Party because I was just like, I'm not voting for either of them. I didn't like Trump either in 2016, but I really don't like Hillary Clinton. And I know that a lot of you guys do, and that she was like your party people, and, that was your person, and you really wanted her to win, and you hated Trump. I didn't like him either. If you go and look at my post in 2016, I called him a narcissist, and I couldn't believe he said the things that he said, and I was really upset too, But then I saw stories, and I wanted to give him a chance, because like, hey, he's our president. That was my initial attitude, like when he got inaugurated and stuff, and it's like, well, he is the president. I'm glad that Hillary Clinton didn't win. I know that that's going to upset some of you guys, but I was glad that she didn't win, and honestly, like I just wanted the whole system to just crash. I was like, I don't even care. Like, I'm just glad that she didn't win because she cheated. I knew this in 2016 before the whole Russia collusion thing was even a thing. I knew, sorry, I know that like my hair's bothering me. I knew that she wasn't, that I knew that she cheated. I knew that the DNC stuff happened because I was a part of it. I was a part of the whole thing. I saw the cheating. I watched the conventions. I watched all of it. I saw like blatant things happen one after the other of like how horrible she was being. Like the fact that they had super delegates for every state, and it was an already unfair advantage before the first day of voting even happened. People like going to polls and like the other blatant lying and like shutting people out and like not allowing them to have a voice, and then doing unfair voting and vetoing and stuff. I was just like, oh heck no, like this is not cool. I'm not gonna. And to me, her whole platform was like, vote for me or else you're gonna hate it and you're gonna regret it because you're gonna get the boogeyman. And I'm like, bring him on. I'd rather the boogeyman than your lying, cheating, corrupt, evil person. Like, you are horrible. Like if you have to, Bernie had huge events. He had so many people come to the turnouts, and she didn't. She couldn't even fill up a gymnasium, I watched all that stuff. I followed it. I was on Twitter. I was so invested. I was like hardcore Bernie. I volunteered for him. I went to his office and I did all these things. And I know people are like, oh, you're just a bitter Bernie bro. I was like, the thing is that the media lied about the manipulation with him too. Like they'd say, his followers, they're crazy, they're this and they're that, those Bernie bros, they hate people and they're starting this, and they're all angry white young males, and it wasn't the case. Like I'd even put pictures up and stuff like at the rallies and be like, hey, no angry white Bernie Bros here, haha, Kate Walsh. Um, just like I would see how they had a narrative for Bernie and what they're trying to do, and I was like, you guys are lying. And then like even whenever they called it for Hillary, she did not officially have all the votes. There was still one more big voting thing left, and they tried to give it to her before that so that people would think, oh, it's already hopeless. There's no point in me voting for her. And when they had the California, the New Mexico, like all these, like the last big leg, and a lot of people's votes in California weren't getting counted, and like there was just like a lot of like shenanigans that were going on, and people were getting turned away, and you know, just ballots, like it was kind of essentially, in my opinion, it was rigged, just from the whole get-go. Like even, and then like the documents were leaked, hacked. If you want to say hacked, sure, Russians hacked it, whatever. And let me tell you something about that. I know you guys are mad about it and whatever, but I hope you guys hear me out. Had we actually gotten Hillary Clinton, we would have been in war with Russia. We would have been in war with North Korea. She was already talking about it. Like she was tweeting about it. She's like, yes, this and that. And I'm like, oh, friggin' great. We're going to get elected. She's going to get elected. And she's already talking about where she wants to go to war, who she's having issues with, and like all that stuff that's going on. And I'm thinking, I don't want her because I don't want to be in wars. I don't want to have more issues. I know like everybody thought Obama was great. I voted for him. I liked Obama, I was like, oh, he's so awesome until certain things had happened, and I kind of started seeing the veil kind of slip, and finding out a little bit of the truth here and there, and thinking about certain things, and being like, yeah, you know what, the student loans before him, like we were able to discharge those and other things, and like him declaring, who he wanted, and even then, like I understand now why, the Democrats didn't want Bernie because it was socialism, and I see the issues with socialism now. But then I didn't, and I thought, well, yeah, it's great. Everybody should be taken care of. Everybody should have their needs met, and I get that point. Like, yeah, it'd be great, but at the expense of who? Who has to pay for it? And I know people say, oh, that's so stupid because then everybody pays more taxes and whatever. But usually, like, if you make a certain amount of money, then, if you make under that amount of money, then you don't have to pay that stuff. And the second that you make a decent amount of money, you have to pay a ton of extra money, and then you're responsible for paying your own insurance and everything else that people who don't make that amount of money don't have to pay. And by the time that you end up having to pay for everything, you're just about as broke as the people that get all this stuff for free, So it's like, so basically in order for you to get the great stuff, you have to screw over some other people first, and they have to pay for what you're getting for free, and it's not fair, and I know that, like, oh, well, let's tax them all, let's tax the 1%, let's do this and that. I get it. Whatever it is, the tax system doesn't work the way it's currently, whatever. And people hate Trump and they think they're talking about the recession and stuff, but my mom, the reason why I moved to New Mexico and away from my family was because she got a wonderful job at Intel. And they gave her great benefits and everything. And under Obama's era, she lost her job. And it was really devastating because she loved it there. She worked there for so many years and she was a great employee, and they had a huge, massive layoff. And now that, Trump is back in office, she got her job back, and it's like her dream job. It didn't happen under Obama, and a lot of other people got jobs. So I know that people are mad at him, but the thing is that, like, I stopped watching the news afterwards because I saw that he wasn't given a fair shake. I know people are like, oh, the fake news, da da da, and Trump supporters are so stupid, and how could they not see this? How could they not, whatever? But it's tough when you're reading or watching news stories and stuff, and they're biased. It's like, I get it. Like, even like all the news things, if you could just give me the information without your need to put the spin on it, then that would be cool, But like, there's a spin in everything. And, truth be told, most of the people that I get my information from, they're liberals or moderates, or they're in the middle. They don't have like a specific clan or whatever. And the people that I listen to aren't super hateful. They just call out the BS and say things. And, when I hear a story from the news or a headline and people get really worked up about it, I'm like, let me look into this real quick. Let me just give this a little more research here because I need to check it out. Like, if if someone's doing something wrong, like I said, I'll call it out. I don't care what side it's on. If someone does something I don't like, no worries, you know. But um, the only side that's really getting a lot of attention for the most part is anti-Trump stuff, and like so much of the news is coming out and it's all bad Trump, you know, whatever, and they don't talk about the good stuff, you know, and they're giving you like their personal opinion and why they think it's bad, and the slander and the slurring and the whole Russia collusion thing. I mean, I know you guys like really want that narrative, but the truth is that, you know, if half of America support the Democrats and the other half supports the Republicans, and not to mention other people in between, and then the Democrat Party got really fractured because of the two candidates. The whole reason why I even like, you know, officially registered as a Democrat from the Green Party was because I wanted to vote for Bernie in the primaries, right? So I got on board with him. The reason why I really liked him was because he did not take he didn't take money from big corporations. He was a grassroots person, you know? He was working for the people and not for the big businesses. He wasn't working for Wall Street. So I was like, cool, I like this about him. I like that he's not bought and paid for. Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, she makes policies based on her friends who were giving her money. And I know you guys could say that about Trump. I'm not talking about Trump right now. I'm talking about Hillary Clinton and why I did not like her. And my point being that the DNC ended up being very fractured because a lot of people felt that the corporate establishment wasn't allowing the people and the people's voice to be heard. They were being ignored. And so, and it's not just because, oh, Bernie didn't get picked. It was the way that Hillary Clinton supporters were towards Bernie people. We don't need you. Screw you. You guys are stupid. Like, whatever. Go away. You're so annoying. Like, they were the worst. I mean, you can catch more bees with honey than you can with vinegar. They were straight giving vinegar, like they were so nasty. It's like, you have to pick her because if you don't pick her, you're going to get Trump and you don't want Trump. Like, they were just trying to tell, like, they wanted to bully people into voting for her. And their way of going about it was like, no, I'm not going to vote for her. Sorry. I voted for the other her. And after what they did, I would never go back to the Democrat Party. Sorry. I mean, I don't like them. I don't like what they stand for. I know that they cheat, and they already have like their person they want to do, and they're going to make sure that person gets in. And I said a while ago, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Kamala, because what I've learned is that it's the thing about having a woman or a person of color or whatever is that it's beneficial for their party, because having that minority person or that voice, that underrepresented person, that once they get in office, they kind of become immune. You know, they're not allowed to be, you know, scrutinized, because if you say something about them, then gosh darn you, you're racist. You just hate women. You hate people of color. Like, you're horrible. You're a bigot. Like, how dare you speak about you? And you guys are just being like that to her because she's a woman, or he's that. And it's like, no, I'm being like that about this person because they're doing some shady stuff and I want it to be called to attention. That's all. Like, I'm not doing it because I hate anybody or whatever. And my issue, honestly, like, I have a huge problem with Ilhan Omar. Like, she's doing some questionable stuff, and she's using the fact that she's Muslim and that she's a woman as her reason for us treating her like that. And it's like, no, but you're doing some questionable stuff, you know? And I kind of have, I mean, and as far as like the whole Islam versus, you know, Palestine or whatever, I'm not even in that. I don't have a partisan. I'm not, you know, I don't have a vested interest in that, because I don't know enough. I mean, I know a little bit, and I know what people, both sides have told me, and I know what side I'm supposed to believe and whatever, but honestly, like, I can be manipulated and I can be used with my emotions and told that I'm supposed to be feeling a certain way. And honestly, if I don't know it, I'm not going to say I'm for it. So, you know, sorry. But, yeah, so that's why I didn't go for Trump. I just went because he was the president. I wanted to support him, and I didn't think that he was being treated fairly. So that's why I went for him, you know, when I started supporting him. And it was like a slow relationship. It was like a slow, like, well, you know, well, he is our president. Like, this is kind of cool, and this is a moment, and, you know, again, I was happy it wasn't Hillary, so I was okay. Like I wasn't upset like everybody else was. I didn't have that like, oh, my queen didn't get elected, you know? And I'm only telling you guys my side because I know that you guys think that like, oh, you support Trump, you're stupid. You support Trump, you're racist. You support Trump, you hate women, you hate whatever. And it's like, no, that's not what it's about. Like, I don't support him because I hate all that stuff. Like, I support him because he's our president. And I feel like he's not given a fair chance. He's never been given a fair chance. And you guys are like, oh, he's racist. He did this and that. Like I was saying earlier, like, I would hear something. I thought something too because I'd see that it was out of context clips. And I'd be like, oh, wow, he said, what about Mexicans? But even then, like, my attitude whenever I thought he was racist against Mexicans, I was like, you know what? I would love to meet him. I would love to meet him because I bet you if I met him and I talked to him for a little bit, that I could show him that not all Mexicans are bad. I would give him a different impression of Mexicans. I know I could. Like, I know. I could say, look, at least you've met one Mexican, okay? One that, like, isn't that bad, right? You know? And that was my attitude. It wasn't like, screw him, he hates Mexicans, I hate him back. And I've just seen so many things taken out of context. And I looked it up afterwards for myself and saw that things weren't what they were being said. And I felt differently, you know? And then I saw how they're saying, you know, what they're saying about his supporters. And again, I'm on Twitter, you know, because I'm kind of questioning about this and that. And I've seen things about whatever. And I'm kind of like, you know, some of the Bernie people did link up with the Trump supporters. And the thing is that they were being nice, you know? And it's like, they weren't mean. They weren't snotty. They weren't hateful. They weren't telling me like, oh, if you're not going to vote for the queen in chief or whatever, then you're going to go whatever. And we hate you. And we're going to make sure that you're just known as like the worst things in the world, you know? Like, I never got that treatment from his supporters. And it's weird because like, they're supposed to be the racist bigots and hateful whatevers, but I've never seen it. I've never seen them be like that. I've never seen them be like that. And it's funny because like every hateful thing that I've heard and seen is coming from the Democrat side. And, you know, you guys hear these things about Trump and his supporters, but you're hearing them from Democrats. You're hearing them from liberal media. It really is liberal media. And I've never, ever thought that. I never thought that. And I never even, you can say I'm brainwashed and whatever because of Trump and I'm so stupid and blah, blah, blah. But I would have like, I never would have known not to trust the media had it not been for Bernie. I saw how they lied, they gaslight, you know, they were doing the gaslighting and manipulating and they didn't give him a chance. The media didn't give him a chance. They lied, like they lied regularly and they didn't talk about stuff. And I was just like, screw that. But anyway, so you're not, and this is the biggest problem that I'm having. And I hope you guys are still with me because like, this is important to me and I'm trying to like, let you guys know why I'm the way that I am because I know that it really bothers some of you guys and like you guys really have a hate and a distrust towards people that support the president, but they're not what you think that they are. Like I talk to these people on a daily basis and I interact with them and they're really nice and they're getting a bad rap. Like, so since, you know, even before I was like an official Trump supporter, I just wasn't a Trump hater. And because I wasn't a Trump hater, I was called a supremacist. I've been called a racist so many times. If I'm not called a racist, I'm called a Russian bot, I'm called a white supremacist, I'm called everything, you know, and a bigot, hateful, whatever. And I'm not like, okay. And even if you think that I am, which is like so laughable because anybody that freaking knows me is, you know, whatever, like it was never even a question on me being a closet racist or whatever else that I'm supposed to be. Like it's just it's a lot, you know. It's like, oh, I hate feminism and whatever. Like just people like saying things and they're not. It would be, the thing is that I feel like a lot of people are being led, they're being manipulated to being enraged so that an agenda can be pushed. So that I feel like what's happening is that they're saying the media, from what my it was unbiased perspective, was that they're like basically saying we're gonna make you so freaking miserable by telling you all of these things about Trump and taking him out of context and like lying on a regular basis, that you're gonna be willing to sell your soul just so that he's not elected again. You're gonna, who cares? We can give you whatever you want. You will lock yourself up in chains so that this man does not get elected again because you think he is a devil. And the funny thing is that I feel like they're creating it. None of it's real. Like, they're showing you, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's like they're showing you certain things because they want you to be mad so that you won't let this person work for this country. And you can say, I'm brainwashed and I feel this, like, I understand, I've heard, like, everything that people say to me, I hear it on a daily basis. And I get that white supremacist and they're taking over the world and they're doing all this stuff, but like, it's not the case. And, you know, even if a majority of white people are Trump supporters, which it's funny because like a lot of the people that I follow and that I talk to and that I, you know, watch and stuff, hardly any of them are even white. You know, like some of them are, whatever, but it's not an issue for them like it is for you guys. Like, you guys are the ones that are saying race, 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 white supremacist. And what's scary about it is that like now that we're all white supremacist, you know, we're evil. Like, our voices shouldn't even be heard. That you can't even talk to us because we are so evil. So if you see me and you know that I support the president, I deserve to be punched in the face. I deserve to die. We need to be eradicated, you know, because, sorry, I'm just upset because it's like, I get nothing but hate on a regular basis. And I'm like, do not cry because I have my makeup on and I don't want to have any, you know, mess on my face. But, you know, like, the people are being demonized and they're being silenced and bullied into silence. And I know that you guys think that you're the victims and stuff and that like they're evil and whatever, but you know, when so many conservatives are having their voices taken away because they're white supremacists and they're Nazis and they're whatever else they're being accused of being, and spreading fake news and hate and propaganda and terrorism and whatever, and it's like I've watched these people that have been silenced, and I'm not saying like I can watch people and not believe everything that I hear. You know, like I can watch someone and say, I don't agree with that. Okay, I do agree with that. I think he's right about this or she's right about that, but no, and even then she's kind of doing a little bit much on the, you know, pandering, and I don't care for that either. You know, like that's why a lot of my sources aren't conservative, because I don't like the partisan stuff, you know. But I'm hearing like eradicate, white people are bad, you know, Trump supporters are evil, they're bad, they're bad, they're bad, they're crazy, they want to incite violence. You know, the whole Portland thing, I saw posters because again, and the thing is that I follow both sides. I follow people from both sides and I try to get the news and the stories and I listen to you guys, you know, and I hear your guys' side, and then I go and I look for the rest of the stuff that you guys aren't getting, and I find out the truth, and it's like, oh man. So then I'm like, do I say something about it? Because I don't want to upset anyone or whatever, but I know that they're spreading false information and that they're thinking these things that aren't true, so maybe I should say something, you know. And that's why I'm saying something now, because I'm worried that there's a war that's trying to be started, and when people are telling you that, you know, this red hat means that this person's racist, and basically it's the same thing as a KKK hood, you know, when I know that that's not the truth, and that's not why people wear it. They wear it because they want to be proud of their country. They want to support the president. Like, I get, and you're like, oh, and you support him because he does this and he's a fascist and whatever. Like, I don't see that. Like, he's not, you know, everything that I get that he's doing or whatever, is for the people. And I know you guys like have, there's issues on immigration and whatever, but even then, you know, some of the reasons why he's pushing the policies that he's pushing is to keep the people safe and to make sure that like people aren't being abused, smuggled, endangered, you know, and whatever. And you could say concentration camps and whatever, but like, I don't know. I have a whole bunch of discussions on this stuff and I have a bunch of opinions on all of it. And I try to give a neutral perspective, you know, an honest perspective, because I don't share, you know, I kind of like loner sometimes because it's like, yeah, whatever. But like, I didn't come into the whole supporting conservatism, you know, readily, whatever. Like, I was just like, oh, well, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't like this either. And, you know, that's kind of whatever. But the more I learned, the more I understood and the more I saw the whole point of it all. And I'm sorry that you guys are like so angry at people that, you know, don't share your hate. And I understand, you know, it's not, I feel like you guys are being punched on a daily basis, not by the president, but by the media. You know, like they're feeding you a bunch of stuff and they're telling you things and you guys are thinking that it's true, especially like with the whole white supremacist thing. Like, I think they're doing that on purpose, y'all. Like, I get what the whole agenda is, but they want a war. They want us to fight with each other. They don't like that, you know, we can be one nation undivided. And they want us to be at war. They want us to not talk to each other. They want us to think like, wow, if you even associate with them, you're one of them and we can't, whatever. But like, again, if you're getting your information from someone who's also biased and doesn't like the president either, and you're actually not talking to the people that are evil, then you're not going to learn anything. Like, people say, why would you even, I would talk to a white supremacist. I would talk to a Black Panther person too, because I want to understand why they feel the way that they feel. Because in my opinion, how can I know how to handle a situation if I don't get it? You know, like you got to know your enemy, right? You know, and I'm not seeing that side is an enemy at all. Like, they're really good people that care about the country and they care, they want to matter too. They want to have a voice and they want to have an opinion. They want to know that it's okay to be who they are. It's okay to be a farmer or a whatever or a hard worker or someone that's not a freaking rich elitist who's giving. So these rich people on TV are living inside this bubble and they're getting their information from their other friends. No one even really knows anything. They're getting certain clips to like feed their narrative. And they're talking to each other about people that they don't even know about. And like, they're not even in touch with. Like, they don't even know what a Trump supporter is. And it's like, everything they say that Trump supporters stand for and care about, like, it's not, I mean, they just don't freaking get it. And they're telling you these certain things that are untrue so that you don't want to talk to us and you want to think that we're evil and you want to instantly hate us and not have any, you know, dialogue. And, you know, like, we're such evil people, we're so bad and whatever. And unfortunately, I care more about being right and like standing up for people that, you know, aren't doing things than just going along with the let's kill these people, let's kill the Nazis, let's punch a Nazi, and they're all white supremacists and whatever, and let's attack these people just because they support the president and they deserve to die. Eradication. I hear the word eradicate a lot. Like, they need to all be silenced and taken out. And then they talk about like the gun laws and stuff, and they're like, yeah, we got to take away guns from crazy people. And crazy people, white supremacists, maybe, you know, like maybe they're trying to like tell you that these people are evil so that you can take away their guns so that they can eradicate them. And if that's not the case and people are being paranoid, then why are these lies being told, you know? Again, I know they're not white supremacists. Most of the Trump supporters, it's not just a white thing, it's not a black thing, it's not just a man thing. I know women, I know every whatever it is under the sun. Transgender support Trump, gay people support Trump, black people, Mexicans, everyone, different backgrounds, ethnicities, all like they all support Trump, and it doesn't mean that they're hateful and they're bigoted and they hate whatever. You can care about the nation too. We just have a different solution as to making things better. And if you guys want to talk about those things, I'd love to talk about it because I get where he's coming from. Like I get what he's trying to do, and I see it. And yeah, sometimes it does seem like it's cruel, but like, what else is the solution? Like, what are you guys thinking? And quick thing, if the borders are not secured, people are coming over from everywhere, like even Africa and stuff, and they're coming in mass numbers. And if they know that they can get in because there's an issue at the border and whether or not people should be allowed, then people with bad intentions who want to do bad things to the country, and I'm not saying Mexicans, I'm saying like terrorists. It's like, oh, cool, we have a way to get in. We can do whatever we want to do, and we have a certain thing, and we can run these cartels and these other things, and we can run these sex trafficking rings and stuff, and we have a way to do that because we have people that will protect us. And hey, you gotta have a kid. People will rent kids out. They will kidnap kids just because they know that if they get to the border, that they'll be given special treatment and attention and expedited. So people are actually like having these rings and part of the cartel and whatever to gain access into the border. And it's like, okay, cool. There's a reason why there's a vetting process. But anyway, I'm telling you guys a bunch of things that a lot of people that I talked to already know. So I have a YouTube channel that I've been doing for a year now, and just kind of talking about things and trying to understand like what the heck's going on to people who are actually willing to listen to me, because I don't freaking get it. Like I understand that you guys are like being driven to hate, and I think it's for a reason, like I said, because they don't want you guys talking and finding out the truth. Because if you guys actually talk to people, then you might see that it's not what you think it is. But I hope that when you guys see me that like, you don't want to hurt me and my kids, even though I've known a lot of you guys for a long time. It's like, first of all, like they're not involved in it. No one in my family is political. No one even cares. The reason why I started having a YouTube page is because no one in my family wanted to talk about it. Everyone's like, nope, don't want to go there, don't want to hear it, don't want to hear it, don't talk to me about it. Even my daughter, like one of my kids not having that, and she's just like, she is very into the whole thing, and I keep showing her the other side and like saying, I know this is what you're being told, but let me show you the other side. Here's the other things that they're not showing you, that they're not telling you, and this is the other part of it. This isn't what those other people stand for. I know this because I follow those people, and I, watch their stuff, and I'm very familiar with what's going on, and I see the lies, I see the manipulation, and it's pretty scary. So I've been talking about it. I started doing a YouTube page. I never told you guys about it because I knew that, I didn't want to cause any problems with you guys. I didn't want to like go there and make things uncomfortable, and you guys have to, feel a certain way towards me because I'm one of those people that, it's a boogeyman. But I'm not like a crazy right winger. I might be crazy, and I'm starting to slowly kind of go there with that stuff. But I'm not doing it from a place of hate, and I'm not doing it because I want to, own something or do whatever, or I hate anyone, or it's quite the contrary. But I feel like people are using people for their like they're using us because they know that like if we're upset and we're angry, we're not going to think straight. We're not going to think logically. We're going to think with our emotions, and we're just going to go because we're at war. Like these people hate us. They think this and they think that, and like screw them. Let's end them all together, and it's not what it is. And I think if you guys were able to like just chill for a minute, like maybe actually just try to find out the truth, and you might not be so angry, and we could maybe like just take things down a couple notches. My YouTube page is under Jasmine No Thanks if you guys are interested, and I make videos about stuff, and I talk about topics, and I try to like debunk them, talk about them, give more information, more context, give references to people that do have it. And that's what I do. So I love you guys. I'm sorry. I know that like hardly any of my friends, support the president. I understand I live in a very liberal state, and everyone hates the president because that's what they've been trained to do. You know, everything's so bad about him, and he's so horrible, despite the fact that like he does do some really good things. But yeah. So I'm gonna tell you guys because I don't like having these uncomfortable conversations, and people want to be like, oh, but you're a Trump supporter, blah blah. Like it's like, yeah, but I'm not supporting him for the reasons that you think I'm supporting him for, and a lot of people don't support those things, and a lot of Trump supporters don't support those things, and a lot of Trump supporters don't think he's racist. And I know that like the whole go back home comment and other things, and it's like, go back home, you know, and then come back and show us how it's done so we can see it too, so we can do things here as well, you know. And I get the, you know, his issue with that too. But anyway, so yeah, I know it's freaking long. Like whatever. I just wanted to get my piece out there because I don't like everyone fighting, and I want to be able to talk to you guys about this stuff, and I want you to be able to talk to me about it, and I want you to have a person who actually knows what's going on that side, who can actually tell you in an honest place that's not from anger. Like I don't have anger towards anyone. Like I don't have anger towards any side. Like the only person I disliked was Hillary Clinton. And had she won, I was just gonna turn the TV off. I was gonna have nothing to do with politics. I was just gonna detach myself, step away from the TV, step away from the online world, just have nothing to do with it because I didn't want to hear it. Like I didn't want to hear the negativity. I didn't want to hear her voice. I couldn't stand her voice. But I wasn't gonna like make myself enraged every day at what she was doing and how dare her do this and how dare her do that. Like I was gonna let it go. So holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. That's Buddha. You know, I mean, there's no point in having anger. It's not going to do anyone good. So if you guys want to have a conversation, I'm here. I would like to talk about it. You can be mad, and I can take it. Like I can take the anger. I'm used to it. You know, I understand. I get it. I don't mind talking about it. You can be angry at me. I'm still going to talk to you. I can still give you the rational perspective. I don't get heated. I don't lose my temper because I get it. You guys are confused and you don't understand and you don't know why people would be that way. And that's because people aren't that way. Guess what? They're not as bad as you think they are. They're not the people that they're being portrayed. I know you guys get told certain things, but you're getting told those things not by those people themselves. You're getting told them by people that don't like them and that don't want them to be heard because they know that if you listen to them, you might actually understand where they're coming from and you might actually hear them out. Anyway, I'm done. I want to say thanks to my friends. You know, and if you want other perspective, people who have it way more together than I do as far as those things go, I highly recommend Timcast, Tim Pool. He's a liberal still, but you know, disenfranchised as well because it's like he sees certain things. He's like, I gotta call out my own side because it's my party. Like I'm not cool with what they do. Kevin's Corner, like there are some people I watch regularly and I appreciate their perspective. They make me laugh. There's Anomaly, he's a good one too sometimes when he's not doing his me bitter rants. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I'll give you guys some people that are pretty neutral that you can probably tolerate those things, and even some of the people that are conservatives that like I appreciate hearing their perspective, even if I don't agree with it, and I'm not on board with everything and whatever, but like I appreciate their insight. Some of them are somewhat neutral for the most part, like Ben Shapiro. I think he's worthwhile of a good listen, and you know, Sargon of Akkad, Carl Benjamin, and yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Slightly offensive. Go there with that. And my friend, the Prodigal Shadow Band. Anyway, Shadow Band, Prodigal Champ, whatever. You can look at my comment section. He's up. Like we're pals. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. And I hope to talk to you guys still. If you want to hate me, that's fine. Just don't come at my kids. Because if you come at my kids, we're going to fight. Because they don't have anything to do with it. It's just me. It's not my sister. It's not my mom. It's not anyone else. It's just me. I'm the only one. I'm the only crazy person that's, you know, suddenly betrayed my own race. I've been called a race traitor, a bunch of stuff. So thanks for listening, and thanks, Mr. Shadow Band, for, you know, encouraging me to do this because I wasn't going to say anything, you know. just gonna keep letting go and like slipping things in here and there when I really knew that they needed to be argued certain points, because some of the lies are just too blatant to like let slide by, like, you know, Jesse Smollett. Oh my gosh. And I know I'm done, I'm almost done. And the Covington kids, those kids were done dirty, so dirty. So that was another one I had to speak out on. But anyway, everything's not Trump's fault. Sorry, you can say it is, but it's not. It's actually the media's. They're doing a lot of lying. They're doing a lot of manipulating. They want you to be angry. They want you to think that there's this group of people who feel a certain way and they hate America. They hate this and they hate that, and they want to hurt you guys. It's not the case. It's not the case at all. All right, well, I will talk to you guys later. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope that we can still be friends and family members and you guys don't disown me, because I love you.